Welcome to the Good Rookie Show. My name's Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are good
That's
rookies.
right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday, happy holidays, and guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yep.
Yep. So, deck the halls with footballs, basketballs, and some of y'all call it soccer. Faheem, Nelly J coming out of Toronto, Canada. As y'all know, it's our last recording in, no, it's our last episode that we published in the year of 2022, Faheem.
Mm.
Yeah, the last one. And at the end of 2022, yo, it's crazy. This year has gone by, Faheem. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm like, what? Like so much has happened, so much has changed in both our lives. Like can't even think about, you know what I'm saying? But I would say God is good. We're here, and
All
I'm
the time.
excited to kind of talk about this episode. Next week episode, guys, we're gonna do a little recap type thing, a little different. So look out for that. But for him, this year a big tournament happened. I think it had an average 4 billion views a game, which is crazy. The
Wow.
World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
FIFA World Cup. And my goodness, what a stage. Mbappe, Messi, Eminem going head to head. I feel like those I listen, man. Mbappe's gonna be a future GOAT. I see it already. He's 23. And Messi, what is he? 30, mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I thought it was the last World Cup, but he wants to keep going. But yeah, like historic. He never had a championship FIFA World Cup yet. He had everything else but that.
Mm-hmm.
So him winning, I'm a big Messi fan. You know this. But
Mm-hmm.
Mbappe, man, listen, when Messi retires, I'm on that Mbappe train. Woo, woo, I'm on that train. He's just so good. But yes, one of the best games I think we've seen in World Cup with our eyes. The back and forth. Argentina had it up early. It was funny. At the halftime, I said Mbappe's gonna score two. Like I just knew it. Because for him, if you watch this kid, like he's so competitive, and like he just finds a way. He finds a way. So I said, watch, he's gonna score two goals just now, easily. Like, and when it happened, I was like, I'm surprised. But then
Mm.
when Messi scored in extra time, and then Mbappe, like the penalty, listen, man, the penalty kick, and then now it was tied 3-3 after extra time, and it was penalty kicks for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was told that the Argentinian goaltender or goalkeeper, sorry, was trash talking
I heard
them,
that too. Right.
them young players, and that's what it is, right? Your
I heard that.
goalkeeper, pretty much your it's a guess. You jump based on your instinct. There's not really a science to this.
Mm-hmm.
But he's long, he's tall, and yeah, like he got into their head and boom. So I bet you, and what I didn't like was that apparently some fans in France, the racist ones, of course, always come out when a
Right.
team loses. They were being racist. Well, they're racist, so the racists show their racist selves. But yeah, like end of the day, it's a young squad, man. France is good. France, you're good up, man. You have a young team that's going to be on that stage for a very long time, at least the next 10
Mm-hmm.
years. So what, 2.5, 3 World Cups? You guys are going to be straight. So
Mm-hmm.
relax. You want the last one, man. Messi needed this one. Faheem, what was your thoughts on that match? What was your thoughts on Mbappe, Messi? People call him the GOAT. I know you think otherwise. What's your thoughts on entire World Cup finals?
Yeah. So the final, it lived up, like obviously classic. I was a little different though. You said a halftime where you felt there's goals coming.
Yes.
From what I saw from the first 45 or 48 minutes, I do recognize it's the tale of two halves. And I remember actually, I was calling Kevin Diversified. Actually, we were on the phone, and um, I just remember. Oh, sorry, we weren't on the phone. We were texting on the phone, and I was telling him this is one-way traffic. And then this was at the 70th something minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this game's over. I told them like this game's over. Like there's no way, no way. And when Mbappe he came with the first one, I was like, oh, we have a game. And the second one, I was shocked. And when he got to the penalty kicks, that's when I got a quick story with the penalty kicks. So I was watching it on television, and let's just say my television froze. And when it froze, guess when it froze? When Messi and so Mbappe took the first one, scored. Messi was lining up for the second one, and it froze right when he's lining up to kick it. So I had no idea.
Mm.
So I had to reboot, and by the time it came back up, the game was done. I missed the
Wow.
entire penalty kicks. So I went
Oh,
to then I put
man.
in line and find out who won, and then after later try and find some the recap which showed
Yeah.
the penalty kick. So actually, wow, that's one thing I would say about this World Cup. I didn't see any of the penalty kick session at all because I was just scrambling to get a reception.
Of course.
Outside of that, though, I mean, it's a classic. It's great for soccer,
Football.
football, right?
They'll come for us. Listen, these football
Yeah,
fans
people
around
get
the world,
very
man,
yeah.
they'll come for us. Don't call us
Yeah.
soccer. We're calling it football today. You know what I'm saying?
Right. In regards to the trash talking, I heard about it later. Like I said, I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I think that's something. Trash talking is not something that you really think happens in the sport. So it's cool that it did. And I just want to quickly shout out Argentina. Do you see the celebration? I thought
Oh,
that the Raptors winning the championship, which had, say, 1.5 million people downtown, was a sight. They had an estimated 4 million people in downtown Buenos Aires.
what's
And
crazy? So when I went there with my homegirls, we went. So when I saw the site, I was like, "Yep, I was there." Like
hold on,
I
she
yeah.
went?
No, I'm saying I was like, so I visited Argentina.
Oh,
back
you went. Okay, right,
Yes,
right,
but I
right.
visited there, so I know exactly where they were, like
Oh, you're
the
okay.
bridge,
You're in
all
that
that,
spot. Got
because we
you.
were doing tours around Argentina. So I remember all those places. I was like, I remember that place. I remember that building. I remember that statue. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
crazy. So Argentina, listen, y'all. Like when I was there, like I didn't think that many people were in that one area, but they all probably just like drove in. 'Cause Argentina is a very like big land. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of everyone's kind of spread out. There's some pockets that are a lot of people live there, but oh my goodness, it's like a city type area, Buenos Aires, right, where the parade was. But yeah, them fans, oh my goodness, they were loving it. So yeah, big up to them. But Argentina, I heard something about how they don't allow people of color or colored players on their team. I'm sure not. I hope not, because if
I
it
hope
is
not.
true, that's kind of like the entire Argentina, like FIFA has to control that. Like if they're doing that, FIFA needs to step in and be like, you shouldn't be picking players based off of like what you know what I mean? Especially if they're talented, why aren't they making a team? I mean, I'm not sure how much control FIFA has. I'm just saying I hope that rumor is not true.
Well, the country itself, that's kind of seems to be systemic within the country.
They've had systemic issues, racism for a while. When I was there, I didn't know how bad it was until I got there and I saw it for myself. I'm like, wow, there's lots. There's quite. There are. Listen, some people that are really nice, great people, like in every country, but some you can tell they're very racist. So when you're black, you see those things. Okay, trust me. I can tell a racist person when I look at them. Like, yep, you're racist. Okay, later, deuces. But that's listen, folks that are racist are everywhere. They're in Canada, they're in America, they're all over the place, right? Even the Caribbean people are racist there too. But Argentina, boy, I felt that racism. I'm like, yo, some folks out here don't like us. So, but when I was there, everyone thought I was Brazilian. I'm like, no, Canada. Like, oh, you from Brazil? Nope. Nope. We're visiting from Canada. Everyone thought we were from Brazil, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why, but anyway.
So it's funny that you just mentioned. It's funny that you
me?
just mentioned Brazil because in regards to the GOAT conversation, when you go on Twitter and everything, it's just pure GOAT, 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 everything. I was kind of confused by that because Pele, I think
he's your GOAT.
He has 3 titles. 3 World Cup titles to Messi's 1. I realize trophies, etc., but I don't know. I'm going with Pele's the GOAT.
That's kind of unfair. This is why I don't really count the world titles like especially FIFA, because it's based on your country's talent, right? So what I can compare is maybe how much goals scored. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different metrics I'll look at instead of just like winning a title. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like in soccer, it really is a team sport. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
Like
sure.
you have to have good players on all levels of the field to win. So, you know, in terms of like, but I do think Pele was revolutionary at his time. He was the best player in his era. But I honestly, like, I don't know, Messi. Let me see. But when Pele was playing, I was probably a kid. Because I'm looking now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really see Pele playing with my own eyes. So that's why I can't, you know, like, I can't say, oh, he's the GOAT for me. Whereas Messi, I saw Messi playing on my, you know, like most of his life. Like when he was started playing, I was watching football. So that's why I was saying, like, I can say he's the GOAT for me. But if you say Pele, I can't argue with you because I didn't really watch him like that. But I did see highlights. I've seen the stuff he's done. I just didn't watch it live, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But I mean,
So
like you're 100 years old, so you probably watched it live.
Fossil.
Kelly won in the 60s, bro. How do you know? Like, so was based off of like what your dad told you? Like, how do you know what I'm saying?
No, well, keep in mind when one of my first, so I'm early 70s.
Yes.
So that would have been my introduction to soccer, football would have been Pele at the time, right?
But he won the World Cups that he won were 62, 66, and 1970. Right? And then in the 70s, yes, he played he played for the New York Cosmos.
Right.
And he was older, and then he stopped at the Santos in 74. So yeah, I guess you probably will see him in his latter year, but you didn't really see the, you know, like
no, I didn't see him live, but being a young child, you know, when you think of football, it was Pele. Even the keep ups, we used to call him Pele. You know what I'm saying? He was a go
no, for sure. Like Pele was always like I knew of him. My dad loved him. Like I knew all that stuff. Just that I never, you know, I just didn't see him live. You know what I'm saying? But I remember him always giving speeches. Like people always would want to meet him. And I think every president, every like country's leader was a fan of Pele. You know what I'm saying? Because you know they grew up in that time, so I understand them. I'm questioning you. I'm messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you, bro. You know me.
So yeah, I got the answer. So Messi has 13 World Cup goals in 26 games. Pele has 12, but I'm just trying to get the games here. So regardless, it's very close. Regardless,
they're close. I'm saying like again, as I'm saying, like I can't argue. Like when it comes to goal to soccer, like every goal people pick, it's really like, yeah, they're a goal too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I got it. So Lionel Messi, 26 World Cup matches, 13 goals. Pele, 12 goals in World Cup, but 14 World Cup matches. So
that's
like
amazing.
half.
So he averaged like what? 12.
A goal,
so he averaged like
almost a
0.9, 0.8 per game match. That's good.
Yeah. So
well, we all know Messi has had some blunder World Cup stuff too.
Yeah. This kind of validates him, I feel most definitely. And it's good.
But
I mean,
this is gonna like he's won so much awards. Like him and Ronaldo are both like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. That's why I say in soccer, there's more than one GOAT, and I feel like soccer fans don't have this like toxic arguments where
like
basketball
right.
is so
That's
toxic.
fair.
Oh my, you bring up LeBron and Jordan and Kobe. Oh my gosh, it's like a war for like a 3-hour argument. You know, I'm so sick of the basketball GOAT talks, but in soccer, it's like, yeah, like Pele was lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember watching his tapes and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like he was so talented. And I like that he was a dark-skinned brother, you know what I'm saying? Like doing his thing, you know what I mean? So yeah. Honestly, sorry, this is such a random thought. I just really hope all the black and brown players that play for European teams, I hope they all leave those teams and play for African nations. And then we'll see how those racist fans feel. Okay? Let's see. Anyways, just random thought. But I'll say this, the French Federation did speak out against those fans and, you know, defended their players. And I'm seeing more and more of these teams are are standing beside their players and defending them, and even people within our country also are like, telling the other fans to shut up, whatever, whatever. So, I
Mhm.
mean, that's a start. Back in the day, it would just be silent and no one would care, but at least now, you know,
Mhm.
is what it is.
And
But World Cup used to be listen, World Cup is such a crazy, like some fans are insane. I heard what was it? I forgot which Brazilian player, but some Brazilian player by mistake, I think he hit a goal in someone else's net, like in um goal in their own net.
oh,
Um
that I think it's Colombia.
was that Colombia?
Was it a Colombian goalie of like are you talking many years ago?
Many, many years. Was it
Yeah,
Colombian?
yeah, maybe, yeah, yeah. Check it out, but I'm pretty sure it was Colombia.
World Cup goal by own player. By own player. Yo, I forgot how
Let's see. I'm gonna
um
Colombia own goal. Let me see, because I'm pretty. Yes, and he was actually unfortunately killed by that.
yes, some nations don't play with this World Cup stuff. Yes, so I remember that story, but my dad told me that story, but I forgot. I knew the country in southern South America.
South America. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
South America,
So
but I didn't know. Yeah, 1994. Yep, I was a kid
right,
when this happened.
Andres Escobar.
Yo,
Yeah,
that yeah, Andres Escobar, right?
yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Listen, man. And that's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. Like that is, but is it because listen, that's what I'm saying. Like this is the player who was killed for an own goal. Yep. I don't know why it just came
Hmm.
to my head, guys. Such a
Hmm.
random guy. Sorry.
Well, you know
But
what? Let's hope that Pele he pulls through. He's actually has
yes.
currently right now he has cancer, and apparently it's worsened. It's affected his
Mm.
kidney and his heart also. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers, Pele, at the
Yeah,
moment.
like definitely prayers to him and all his loved
Hmm.
ones.
Hmm.
You know, and all the fans, because that's, I mean, cancer is just so
Hmm.
painful. But all we can do is pray that he gets through it and his family gets through it. But
Hmm. All right, so Nelly J, you know what? Let's go to for the culture.
for the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today, we like to highlight a Sudanese NBA star, Faheem. That is correct. This gentleman who's now retired, he played in the NBA from '04 to 2019. Okay. Was on the Bulls, the Cavs, the Heat, the Lakers, Timberwolves, a two-time NBA All-Star, an all defensive second team, an all rookie first team. Okay. Sportsmanship Award winner in 2007. Alrighty. He even played in the 2012 Olympics for Britain. All right. But now he's for the culture who is Luol Deng, because he's actually about to take his own team, a team that's dear to his heart. It's the Sudanese basketball team, Fahim. They're one game away of qualifying for the World Cup for basketball for FIBA and potentially going to the Olympics, which will be the first time ever for Sudan. Remarkable. Not only that, he also has a foundation and an academy. So his foundation so the foundation, what it does, it actually helps with, of course, the team itself. But on top of that, he also has an academy. And essentially, what he was saying is that he was raising money in the States to help, bring wheelchairs to his villages, bring doctors within his borders, perform surgeries in different villages, and tackle things like mental health issues, which is really big in the South Sudanese community as well. So not only Fahim is he not only helping his own countrymen, right? Have a stamp in basketball, but he's also giving back to the community. So that is why Luol Deng is for the culture. Okay. And his charitable foundation has programs that aid youth in education and sport, people with disabilities, people with mental health problems, poor people and men and women basketball programs in South Sudan for him. So he's just doing it all. So I'm just so happy we get to highlight him today for the culture. Fahim, what's your thoughts after hearing what this NBA star, this African NBA star, has been doing only at the young age of 37 too. Like he is, but imagine if South Sudan makes it to the FIBA World Cup in 2023.
So Luol Deng, uh, he was Manute was somebody who had influenced him into playing basketball.
Mm,
And it's funny how here we are now. Manute Bol's son, Bobo's in the league also.
yep.
Um, we also usually think of Masai and what Masai Ujiri, his hand in African basketball. It's really nice to see that it's not just Masai, but Luol Deng has carved his niche for specifically for his country and given them an opportunity to be in those conversations to like you say, the Olympics. That's amazing. So Luol Deng, he's especially being so normally he's from an era, I'd probably say, where he was like 6'7" when he played. He was a small forward. That was kind of rare for African players. I'd have to say he was very much a trailblazer because usually when African players came in the league, they were big men. Like I
Yep.
mentioned, Manute, Dikembe Mutombo, the list goes on and on. Everyone you list is going to be a front court player. The fact that Luol Deng was a small forward who was a wing player, very rare for an African player at the time. So, I mean, he's kind of trailblazed with that. The fact that he can now give back, yeah. Shout out to Luol Deng. That's all I got to say.
Oh, I agree. And I also want to shout out so the Brooklyn Nets assistant coach, Royal Ivy. He's
Mm-hmm.
also been coaching alongside of Luol Deng for the South Sudan men's basketball team as well. So big up to Royal Ivy. I'm not sure if he has any Sudanese descent, but
Mm-hmm.
we saw Mike Brown coaching, Nigeria's team. So I'm just loving the fact that a lot of these coaches in America that are African descent are also contributing back to those countries, right? Helping
Mm-hmm.
them, coaching, helping them. So Masai not only is a trailblazer, but there's now more influence from other people of color or an African descent in America now going to back to Africa to help coach those countries. I think that's amazing, right? We see it happen
Mm-hmm.
all the time. We see like our team Canada soccer coach isn't really Canadian, right? But I think it's really great that these men are doing that. It gives them great coaching opportunity, helps them to not only mentor these kids in those countries, but help build those programs. Because the basketball has been a great tool for Black men and Black women to, get notoriety, right? Have influence. And we know influence is so priceless. So, yeah, so big up to New York's own Royal Ivy and the fact that he's also helping coaching this team.
Mm-hmm. His Luol Deng, his foundation, they have more than 1,000 kids that have learned basketball, and almost 2,000 kids are actually on a scholarship. So they put over 300 of those kids on. So they have 2,000 kids, and about 300 of them are on scholarships in the United States,
Amazing.
and which is great because he could be the bridge to making it easier for African players to have an opportunity in the United States, um, using his name, obviously. And also, he knows the infrastructure of how to get things over from Africa to here in regards to players and stuff. So, shout out to Luol Deng once again. These
Yeah.
students, these kids are having an opportunity from a very legitimate basketball player, regardless of where he's from.
And like, I want to also shine some color on why he said there's a big issue of mental health in South Sudan, right? So, for those who don't know, they had Sudan had their second civil war. It was called the
Mm-hmm.
Second Sudanese Civil War, which lasted from 1983 to 2005. Faheem, like that was just now.
83 to 2005.
Yeah, and that was between the Central Sudanese government and the Sudan People's Liberation Army.
Wow.
And it pretty much continued. It was kind of like a continuation from the first civil war that they had, and that was
Mhm.
from 1955 to 72. So they've had so much. Imagine being in war or in conflict for like 4 or 5 decades. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So those kids are
Mhm.
coming from war, parents lost. We all know war is ugly, right? Lots of death, senseless things, so that's why this is so important. And that's why I think what he's come from, his father fled during the second civil war. And of course we have a lot of Sudanese migrants who came to Canada. They're also in the States. We see them in other countries in Europe who fled during that time. But imagine 83, like that's like literally like that's like almost like what? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole lifetime.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is why it's
Mhm.
so important for him, and I think important for the people there, that he's involved, that he's gone back and said, yes, I play for Britain, but he's like, imagine I could play for my own country. And I think I would love to see more and more athletes. Of course, you can get paid more if you coach for a European team, of course, right? But sometimes, sometimes it's about giving back and helping where you come from. And I think him going back there, I'm hoping more. And I know for a fact, because I see a lot of the NBA players, like Serge Ibaka did it. A lot of these guys go back home where they're from that has conflict and give back to their villages, right? And their
Mhm.
community. So and I think Masai realized, like, listen, this can be a great liberation tool for these young kids.
Yeah.
I think the average African, I think, is like 30 something. They're young, right?
Mhm.
So no, love it, love it, love it. And I'm listen, man. One day, what I'm telling you, Faheem, we said before, one day, Giannis, these guys are all gonna play for their home country. When that
Woo!
happens, my gosh, right?
Yeah.
And I truly think it's gonna happen. I think in soccer too, it's gonna happen, right? We saw some guys from the Morocco team. Those Morocco players, some of them were play in Europe. They were born in Europe, but they want to play back home, right? So I think we might see
Mhm.
a trend for him. I'm telling you, one day.
I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping you're right. The foundation, it's called Wheels of Hope, and that is along with Luol Deng. And they provide 1,000 wheelchairs, walkers, and canes and crutches. No, my apologies. It's not 1,000. It's to 1,000 people.
2,000
They
people. Yeah,
give
there we go.
they give wheelchairs, walkers, canes, and crutches. So I mean, talk about humanitarian. Like the efforts are there. It's great to see, and especially like you're mentioning about just the growth of basketball. Period. The only thing I think is really was holding African players back was opportunity, you know, and it's just
Exposure too. I think the internet helps as well.
for sure.
Exposure and
Hmm.
like being informed, right?
Right, right.
Information is so key.
Hmm.
Did you mention that Manute Bol's brother is who taught Deng as well? His brother taught
Oh,
him,
no, I
which
did
is
not know
really
that.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So first of all, big up to Mark. I got big up to Mark J. Spears for breaking his story. So
Woo!
this is his work. So thank you for Ants from Antscape. He broke
Hmm.
the story and he spoke about Manute Bol's brother. Even though Manute Bol was his influence, his brother helped him play basketball. So this is again like giving back, giving back, giving back. But wow, love it. Sorry, go ahead,
Hmm.
Naheem. I want to add that.
No, that's it. I was going to land there because the BAL, shout out, actually, a quick shout out to the Basketball Africa League, the BAL, helping to grow the game in Africa also. Hmm.
Yep. And it's true. So what's interesting? Dang was saying that a lot of basketball fans in South Sudan, how they're really fond of Bol Bol, right? So I mean, and we were
Of
saying how
course.
Bol Bol is like so talented, and people are now realizing how skilled he is this season.
Hmm.
So yeah, I really hope he has a long career in the
Hmm.
NBA because he's really
Hmm.
the stuff he does, man. I'm like, what the
Hmm. Yeah,
how?
and the ironic thing is, Bull, he's what 7'7", but he could put the ball on the floor. Luol Deng, like I was saying, being a pioneer of being somebody who could put on the floor, but doing it at like 6'7". So it's like a passing of the torch. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Of being a big man, but being versatile.
What's crazy about Bol when he dribbles, his one dribble is higher than me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like when he bounces the ball, it's like he bounces. Like just a dribble for him is like my height. That's
Hmm.
wild.
Hmm.
Man, I'm short. Anyways, but big up to Lil Dang. Good luck to the South. I think the tournament resumes in February, so
Hmm.
good luck to them. And I really hope I really hope that they do make it to FIBA Cup 2023, and Canada is also fighting for that as well. So we're gonna see Team Canada there. We're gonna see, I think, 5 African nations get to go to FIBA in 2023. So I think for some reason I feel like this FIBA World Cup might be a bit more bigger than normal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why.
Hmm.
I think there's more countries that are talented and getting up there with America, so
Hmm.
let's see. Because if
Hmm.
America don't have their superstars, they don't win.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah. Shout out to Luol Deng.
Shout out, big
And
up
I want to throw
yourself.
this out also. I've also had a lot of respect for him just for how he handled the Danny Ferry situation. For anyone who's not aware,
Mm.
Danny Ferry was the GM in Atlanta. He's a white general manager. He made a comment to others that had racially charged. I guess there's also a letter or something, some kind of documentation. They looked into it. They found out Danny Ferry was fired because of that. Luol Deng, when asked about the situation, he took the high road. He didn't, throw any shots at Danny Ferry. He didn't. He acknowledged it, and he handled with class the whole situation. So that's one thing. Even after that situation, I was like, wow, you're playing for a team, you're being disrespected, and he handled it like a professional. So it's not a surprise that he's going back to his country and doing this. So shout out to Luol Deng. That's one to say on the way
Woo!
out.
And does Danny Ferry have a job in the NBA still?
So apparently he did after that get hired again as an intern, but as of the present moment I don't think he is now, but he did get rehired as an intern um post that situation, which is a topic for maybe another
Wow.
time. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you can be racist and still get an intern job, but you talk about, a certain community and you know what I mean? Like,
uh,
anyways, we won't go there today. We won't go
we
there today.
won't go there.
We won't go there today. But yeah,
uh,
racists should stay out of those types of. If you're racist, why do you want to coach Black people? I don't understand. If
mm,
you don't like us, why would you want to coach us? Why would you want to play with us? Why would you want to be involved in what we're doing if you're racist? I don't understand that, Faheem. Anyway,
mm.
get it together, racist people. Get it together.
Okay.
Figure it out, man. God, you know what I'm saying? Figure it out. Go ahead.
All right. So, Nelly J, you ready to close us out with That's
That's
Absurd?
absurd, Faheem, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
The big three.
Black owned, black owned.
Ice Cube, the rapper, he's revealed that the NBA has been telling sponsors not to work with the big three basketball league. Absurd.
Absurd. First of all, NBA. You're why are you even involved? And like
Hmm.
why first of all, why do you care if he gets sponsors or not? Like
Hmm.
they're the big 3 on 3. You're the NBA. That is some hateration for him. That's some hateration. Now, it's the NBA. We don't know who in the NBA is hating. So we're not gonna obviously throw the entire NBA employee staff under the bus. But whoever that is whoever in the NBA is hating on Ice Cube, get a life. Get a life. Like honestly, like the big three is first of all, when they have their league, it's not the same time as the NBA. They're not competing for your site. So what's the problem for him? What's the problem? And honestly, I think there's so many people that live in America. There's enough room for multiple basketball leagues, but the NBA has monopolized basketball to a point where it's hard to create a league and make it profitable. But who knows? Maybe that's why it hasn't happened because they're freaking telling sponsors to don't work with other leagues. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this
Wow.
what they've been doing for him to keep the marketplace to themselves?
Hmm. Well, you know what? Ice Cube had mentioned that he sat down with Adam Silver, and he had actually wanted the NBA to be involved with it, and the NBA apparently had said no, they didn't want to. So that's what actually makes this super absurd. The fact that there was an opportunity for you to be involved,
But you
but
chose
if you
otherwise.
so then if you don't want to be involved, why would you want to block them from doing what they're doing?
Yeah, man.
Absurd.
Listen, it's absurd. NBA, whoever that person is in the NBA, get a life. The big three can't even compete with y'all. Like the two
No.
different
Right.
hemispheres, y'all. Let
Mm-hmm.
our black owned, and this is listen, man. But I'm happy he said that because expose the foolishness, right? It
Mm-hmm.
exposes it. So those sponsors who told him no are gonna be like, wow, why did I say no? But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I do think there's a monopoly in basketball. The NBA has definitely taken over the marketplace, and I really hope Kyrie or somebody, hint hint, um, starts their own league and finds a way to help pay and create revenue within our community with ownership as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
only having one black owner in the NBA is that enough for me? No,
Right.
no,
We can land there.
can land there.
All right, Nelly J. Let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookies Show. Happy Holidays edition. Man, Faheem, I don't know. I feel like this a shout out. I'm gonna keep it really sentimental. You know what I'm saying? My shout out is gonna be to the audience, to the family, everyone on Clubhouse, Raptors Live TV, for those who come to our post game show, all our fellow podcasters, all of them. You know what I'm saying? The Big O, politics as usual. We got 94 feet, all takes matter. The Run Sports. My goodness. Like just everyone who's circling back on this, like everyone who's been really integral in just us, helping us, supporting us. You know, if you come to our room, come to the space, even if you pop in, you're truly, truly appreciated. And yeah, all we try to do is build a community of folks like us to talk and, laugh together, cry together, Raptor fans for life. You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. But nah, and also to thank you to the Huddle Share Space for giving us their space to use for the holiday gift drive. That was epic. It helped the volunteers have a space to just work out of. Clean, guys. Great space. Check it out. Okay, check it out. Great tenants that work there. If you want to ever book any meetings, spaces, a place to work, check out Huddle Share Space. Beautiful space. And of course, all the volunteers, Vanessa, everyone that helped with the holiday gift drive. It was cold, y'all. It was cold, but we touched 296 people, Faheem, who are living in unfortunate times, men, women, and children. So thank you to everyone. If you gave even $2, you gave $1, you gave your time, doesn't matter. Thank you so much for supporting the drive. So that's my shout out, I guess. Faheem, I'm going to pass it to you.
Yeah, you took my shout out
Oh,
actually.
wow. Sorry. My bad. My bad. My
I was gonna
bad.
start with shouting you out for
Oh,
the holiday gift drive of 2022. You were gonna be my shout out. I guess I'll just tack on everything that you said in regards to the drive. But yeah, I just want to shout you out. This is something that you've been curating for a few years now. And yeah, it's amazing. I do want to I was gonna ask though. So the situation since the pandemic,
mm-hmm.
people's situations are different. So I was just going to ask, did you notice since you're actually out there in the battlefield, actually dealing with people specifically and personally, is there any difference or is it the same? I
It's
just
it's
want to
gotten
know.
worse.
Okay.
Pre-pandemic, there were probably less people in these
Hmm.
shelters or less people needing the shelters. But now we're seeing a lot more young mothers or mom with little babies having to leave bad situations. There's so much men in need, and unfortunately, these shelters for men aren't the safest. They're not the warmest. The fact that like the government doesn't give these guys like socks and gloves, like they get jackets, but not even gloves and hats. Like the things like, or even like, you know what I'm saying? But they do get fed, right? They get food and all that stuff, which is great. But the fact that we can give all this money to Ukraine and we can't give money, and again, I'm not saying Ukraine needs the money, but it's just like, if we can give how much millions of dollars to Ukraine, why can't we give $1 million to help build an infrastructure to help to give these guys a safe place to sleep and a warm place to sleep, right? A lot of people who live on the street, they live there because it's not safe for them in the shelters, right? That's why. And there's enough security to secure safety. So that's why some people live on the street, because it's safer to live on the street than to live inside, but it's cold. It's really cold, right? So it's just an unfortunate situation. I know, again, I'm not coming after the city, but I'm just saying that, I just wish that we would take care of our own. Like, if we can give all this money to help with to like support wars, that means we should be able to have money to help everyone have a warm place to sleep. There's even people, the indigenous people in the community in Canada don't even have clean water, but we can give money to Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I'm gonna stop venting, y'all. I could talk about this all day, but it's a passion of mine. We just have to give back on what we can, because every little thing matters, especially to kids who are living in a shelter. Getting a gift from strangers, trust me, that's gonna go a long way. So all we can do is our best, and I think everyone contributed what they could afford, and that's why I think it was successful. It was all built off of love, right? So love and compassion for others, that's what this drive's about.
Well, Steph, yeah, you mentioned the money, so I just want to actually throw a number because I did know it was a lot. It looks like, now, am I off with this? It says here it was 100 and no, sorry. So on January 22, Canada has committed $320 million. So $320 million it's a pretty penny. Not saying it shouldn't go there, but you're right. We're just talking. So
I
there's
mean,
certain
the
there
fact,
did
but that money came from where, right? I mean, they have the money, but it's not. It's like we
right,
can, again, even if, like, especially what happened with all the indigenous, God rest their soul, the mass graves we found. Like, there's no way these communities should not have clean water, not have warm homes with heat in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're living. Some of these like communities are living in atrocious environments, but we can give
right.
100 million, 300 million to another country. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I'm not saying not to support them. That's the government's
Yeah,
choice, but why can't we give that community 10 million?
yeah.
Ensure that they're
And
all living in secure housing. Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, crime in Canada is built off of not having the resources to help these individuals. You know what I mean? Crime is built off of need, right? People are criminals, not all, of course. Some people are criminals because they're surviving. They're trying to survive. So let's help them survive and then help them give back. So anyway, I can vent about this all day. I don't want to, people are like, Nelly, why are you
yeah,
going crazy right
yeah,
now?
we don't want
Whatever.
to.
But
Yeah, we don't want to go out on that.
yes.
But um, yeah, just definitely shelter is, that's a basic need that everyone should have. So, I mean, unfortunately, those aren't. But and actually, so let me just take us back to school. So as you're speaking, it made me think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Do you remember that in school? Did they
I
teach that in
remember
school?
that. Oh, yeah. I remember that, Matt.
Okay, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs, here we go, are psychological. So, sorry, my apologies. Physiological, so food and clothing, safety, which is job security, love and belonging needs, which is friendship, esteem, and lastly, self-actualization. I'll land on that. You're out here doing some good work, Nelly J, and the work you're doing actually, is helping check off on all these boxes here that I'm seeing for the people that you're actually providing these services for to help out. So that's why I wanted to start with you as my shout out.
Thank you, Faheem. I appreciate that, brother.
Mhm. On that
Appreciate
note,
that.
let's go ahead and close out this episode.
Y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. If you've had a good time this year, if you're, loving what you're hearing, all we ask is that you subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend. Faheem.
We're on all platforms if you're looking for us. That's the good rookie show. We
And
out.
we out.
Peace.
Peace. Happy holidays.